Good morning. As you might be able to see, I am not at home in London anymore. I'm in Austria with my family right now, and we arrived last night and it's the next morning now. It is Tuesday morning and we just got ready, had some breakfast, and we're gonna go to town now. We have like a lovely rose garden which we want to go to, and then have a coffee and some ice cream and some barbecue later today. So yeah, we came here last night and it's kind of the start of our little holiday trip. So we are in Austria for a few days, and then we're gonna go to France afterwards, to Antibes, which is a lovely little town close to Nice. So it's kind of the Côte d'Azur area. And before we start off, I wanted to tell you about a lovely story, and with lovely, I mean it was horrible. When we came here, it was a horror trip, honestly, to come here. It is, as I said, it is Tuesday now. We arrived on Monday, but we initially planned to come here Saturday night. So we booked our flights for Saturday night months ago, like back in March. And because my boyfriend and his mum are with me right now, and they're both from New Zealand, they have to do a quick visa check. So they basically have to go to the counter, show their passports, and then check in there. There's just online check-in just doesn't work with them. I don't know why. We were at the airport early, 2 hours early as normal. When we went to the check-in counter, they scanned the passports and were like, "Oh, haven't you checked in online yet?" And we were like, "No, we can't. We need to come here and like do their visa check." And they were like, "Oh, you should have checked in online because we don't have any seats for you anymore." And then we were like, "What do you mean you don't have any seats for us anymore?" And they basically overbooked the flight, and not only us, but in total 13 people didn't get a seat assigned. They still, the manager still said like, "Okay, check them in and just put like seat 0 and let them go through the process, like check-in, security, stuff like that, and then let them go to the gate, and then if there are any no-shows, they can just board." And we were like absolutely mind blown by what's been going on, because we were like, "What do you mean? We booked those flights months ago. My boyfriend's mum came all the way from New Zealand for a trip here, and then you tell us we can't go on a trip because you overbooked the flight." And then we said like, "Okay, anyway, we're just gonna go to the gate and just fingers crossed, be positive, and say, let's hope that we get onto this plane." A few hours later, a lot of stress later, there were no-shows. So we couldn't board the plane because it was fully booked. And then the lady at the counter, of course, she wasn't from WizzAir. She was really helpful, really lovely, and said like, "Yep, that happens all the time with WizzAir. They overbooked the flights." She showed me on the system all of the upcoming flights with WizzAir. All of them were overbooked by at least 10 plus people. And she said they have this problem all the time, that people just get kicked off the plane for no reason. So she was really sorry about it, and she had to bring us all the way out again, and then we had to fill out forms. Everything just took hours and hours. We were shattered, we were tired, we were frustrated. Not only us, everyone who was kicked off, because we all had places to go to. There was a girl who needed to go to a uni to write an exam, or she gets kicked off her course. We had our holiday to see my family. Like, everyone was just so frustrated. And then the people from WizzAir were not really helpful. There was one lady in particular where I still, oh my god, like I think someone else would have nearly punched her, which I'm not a violent person, but this lady was so rude. We basically said like, "Okay, what can we do? We need to go on another flight now. You have to book us on another flight." And she's like, "Well, there are no other flights until next week." And then we're like, "Well, that's not our problem. You kicked us off this flight. We paid for it. Just get us on another flight." And she's like, "No, we can't do that." And it was like, "What about accommodation?" And she said like, "Well, you only get accommodation if you have another Wizz Air flight for tomorrow." And then we're like, "Well, there are no other flights." And it's like, "Well, then you don't get accommodation, I guess." And it was like, "What do you mean you don't get accommodation? I mean, there are people here." There was a girl that was had to travel for 4 hours. And she was like, "Well, that's not my problem." And I was like, "Well, it is your problem because you kicked us off this flight." And then she's like, "Well, you just have to talk to Wizz Air support." And it's like, it's 11 in the night. There is no Wizz Air support. "This is not my problem." It was going on like this ping pong of like, we need to do something. And she's like, "This is not my problem." Sorry, I can feel the rage again when I think about that. People were so angry with her. So yeah, basically it ended up us filling out forms. We get a 250 euros refund, which sounds lovely, but if you think of how much the flights are now when you book them in a short term during the Jubilee season, during this Jubilee weekend, the flights are about £400 a person. So £250 compensation is not enough to cover the new flight, plus accommodation, plus the train tickets in and out. So in the end, We rebooked flights for Tuesday evening now with Ryanair, not with WizzAir again, and had to pay a lot extra. I'm not even sure if we're gonna get this refund because, let's be realistic, I don't trust WizzAir whatsoever, because they should technically also pay for the new flights now because they were not able to provide us another flight within 2 days, but I don't really trust them that they do that, but we'll see. I can keep you updated if you want. But yeah, so we had to book new flights, had to pay a shit ton of money extra just to come here, 2 days late, so we only have 2 days now in Austria instead of 4 days, which is very frustrating because I was really looking forward to see my family as well. And also we booked another WizzAir flight, unfortunately before this happened, to France, and then we booked it for 10 in the morning and they just rescheduled it for 6 in the morning, which is also like, why are you doing that? I don't want to fly at 6 in the morning. I'm gonna be shattered for the rest of the day. But anyway, my only advice to you is don't book WizzAir. Just don't book WizzAir. Just go with another company because they were absolutely horrible. Their behavior was disgusting to us and everyone else, and they absolutely didn't care about the individual, and I will never ever fly with WizzAir again. So on another note, I'm sorry for this video starting a bit negative, but I kind of wanted to voice what happened and let you know as well, because it is holiday season, you might want to book a flight somewhere. But yeah, I will get ready now. Well, I'm ready now. I'm gonna go downstairs and then we're gonna go to the Rose Garden and ice cream and have some ice cream because we have my favorite ice cream shop here. And then yeah, just take you along. I'm actually not quite sure if I'm gonna do 1 video or 2 out of this kind of holiday trip here. Let's start the day. Let's be positive, forget about it, and just start the day. And yeah, the sun is shining. It's gonna have 25 degrees today. I'm very excited to be here and I'm very happy that we can finally enjoy our holiday. So this is the view out of our window. I really love it. You can kind of see down to the garden, and just it's just the best view to wake up to in the morning. It's so gorgeous. We're gonna go down to the Rose Garden now, which is kind of down this way and then into town. Now you can get this little pedal boat and then just pedal out in the pond, which I did so much as a child. I loved doing that. Oh, little ducklings. Good. So we're just walking through my old hometown. So this is where I grew up. So about 40 minutes from Vienna, I would say. We just got some ice cream and wandered through the Rose Gardens, as you could see, and now we just walk around a little bit, enjoy the sun, and then we're gonna slowly head back, have some barbecue as well. My brother's at home preparing the barbecue, which is great. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, it's really nice to be back and just wander through the streets and see my old school, and it's weird, but it's really nice. Yeah, it's a really old kind of historical town where I grew up, but I always found it quite boring. But now as I live in a big city, it's actually quite nice to come back to like your boring city because it's just quiet and peaceful, and I don't know, I just, in the long run, I think I genuinely prefer the boring smaller town compared to like a big city like London. Old church. I'm not sure if I can go in with some ice cream, but let's try it. So this is our casino, which is quite big actually, although I'm not really going to the casino. And there's a little coffee shop now where we're going up to. I really want to go to the old mood factory. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, and they do lots of ciders with like different flavors and berries, and not only the apple one, but I think there's a new one with strawberry, and they make some pineapple, and it's quite nice.
Quite well because they don't make them too sweet.
Just walking back home. It's very hot. Just came up here, which is like kind of a foresty pathway, but it's really lovely up here. I really like it. I think the other ones just walked ahead, and you have like little caves like that. As children, we always came up here and then just played in the caves. Actually, probably a bit dangerous, but we loved it. Yeah, definitely grew up on the countryside, as you can see. Spent all my childhood up here, playing around here. I'm hot. It's never ending. It's always going up hills, always up. But as a child, you definitely always stayed fit. Not that I came up here every day, but when I had to go down to town and back up, you always had to walk up the hill, which can be very exhausting. But it's really fun in winter, because if we do have snow as kids, we just took our sledge, or sled, wherever you are, and just took that one to town. That was really fun, so definitely missed that a little bit. Yummy.
Hummus.
It's my favorite drink. They don't.
What is it?
It's called radler.
It's like a shandy.
It's like a shandy, but it tastes better. I
Okay.
think. Wanna try it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So it's the next day, and we came to Vienna, and we're just in this beautiful coffee shop with all of those cakes here. Amazing. I love this packaging. The coffee shop is called Dema. Really popular, very old. It was founded in 1888. We are, just wandering around, and then do some sightseeing as well today. So here we have lots of those horses. They call them Fiaker. Super popular here. This is one of my favorite stores when it comes to chocolate cakes. So if you're ever here, there's a hotel called Sacha, which does beautiful chocolate cakes. They also have some coffees. Hello. Oh my god, look at that, it's so adorable. Yes, we're gonna grab a coffee here now, a cake here now, and probably some coffee beans as well to take them home. I also got myself something from the other coffee shop, this little chocolate I showed you before. So we're treating ourselves now. Yeah, here you can see it. This is the chocolate cake. It's a little bit dry actually, but it works really nice with some cream, some whipped cream or some ice cream. Oh, honestly, it's amazing. Okay, my filming today in Vienna was very poor. I'm very sorry about that. We went in at 8 in the morning and then stayed for like 3 hours. We didn't stay very long. We just went for a coffee, a little wander, and then left again. So sorry about that. But we're back at my mom's place now, and it's our last day in Austria, so we're gonna head off tomorrow. We booked a taxi for 3:50 in the morning. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a long day and a tired day, but our flight is going at 6. Yeah, as I told you, WizzAir also pushed forward our flight from 10 to 6, so we have to leave really early, and I hope everything works out with the flight. But yeah, it's our last day today. It's a little bit cloudy now, but we just sat outside, had a beer, more specifically had a radler, which is really nice if you never have seen a radler before. Let me actually show you. So this is a radler, so it's basically beer with this is with lemon. I just had one with grapefruit, which is also great. They're lovely if you're ever here. It's similar to cider, but it's beer based. And then we do another barbecue tonight, so we already bought a few bits like some sausages, halloumi. We have some defrosted some chicken as well, which I'm really excited about. But something else I wanted to show you. We went to the supermarket and bought a few goodies that we're gonna bring back to London. Some of my not essentials. Okay, that's boring. Some soup stock, which honestly is so much better here. And some ready soup. Don't ask me why. You can't really get ready soup like that in London. So I picked some up here. I love to have them for lunches. Was there some kind of cured and dried salami. I'm not quite sure if you can see them. They are so nice. Some knoppers, which are some chocolates, toffee. That's some kind of like, it's called speck, which is some kind of cured ham or smoked ham, I think. Really lovely as well. Some more snacks, more sweets for tomorrow. Yeah, I think that was everything here. And then some more salami sticks and some more bread. So as you can see, I like my salami stuff here and some bread. Well, it's mainly Nick's, to be honest. Nick loves the salamis here, so we always have to bring some back home. And then I also picked up a few things in Vienna, which is this here from the Sacher shop that I showed you. So these are mini cakes. So the big cake is the round one I showed you, but then these are kind of like mini ones, like square ones, like that big. And then we also picked up this one, which is a tin with coffee beans, and these coffee tins look so pretty. So got this one also, like that one is a present now, our one's already in the suitcase. And then we also got this lovely chocolate here as a present. More for the packaging. Was actually really expensive. It was like I think it was like £10 for this chocolate. It's ridiculous. It was really expensive, but it's just so pretty and it's a gift. So yeah, that's that. Also, can we please enjoy how beautiful my mom's garden is? This is a I don't even know how you call them in English, this kind of metal bar. When I did gymnastics, I was training on that quite a lot as a child. And recently we had a massive tree here. It's called a linden tree, I think. That was chopped down because it had an illness or some kind of disease, and you just had to chop it down, otherwise it would break down with the next storm. And we filled it up with some new soil, and we're not quite sure what we're going to do with it now. My mom was tempted to get a pole, and then we said we're just gonna plant stuff. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen here, but she has so many like fruit trees, and there's like wine over there and roses. I mean, how beautiful are those roses? And we just put out the ladder as well because we have like loads of cherries on the tree here. And then we have like more cherries over here, and we have some herbs and stuff down there. So I definitely miss the garden a lot. This is kind of the garden I grew up in. It's the most relaxing thing to be here and come out of London and just stay here and just listen to the birds and have a drink. And as I said, I think I found that I'm definitely more of a country person. I really wanted to live in a big city at some point in my life, and I always said I want to live in London, so I've done that for sure, and I really enjoyed it. Well, I mean, the COVID time wasn't the easiest, let's be honest. But every time I come here, I feel like there's some weight lifted off of my shoulders, and I feel so much more relaxed and happier. And yeah, even Nick and his mum said as well when we came here, like I changed within a second. As soon as I was here, I was suddenly happy and cheery, and everything was just so much better. Of course, which is probably also because I'm with my family, that always makes everything better, but it's just so much more quiet here and relaxing and peaceful. Oh, and we also started watching a new show, which we're actually gonna watch now. Nick is just sitting inside waiting for me, like, come on, hurry up, I want to watch the show, which is Jeremy Clarkson's The Farm. I know it's not a new show, I think it's already out for like 3 years or 2 years, something like that. And we watched the first 3 episodes, and oh my god, it is hilarious. Honestly, it's so funny. If you haven't watched it, give it a watch. It's really good. It's basically him. He has a farm, his own farm, but he never harvested or like never did anything with it. It was someone else, another farmer, I think, or another couple that ran the farm, and they retired, and he came back and took it over. And he tries to learn how to run a farm, basically. And I think my favorite episode so far is the one with the sheep. It's hysterical. Like, it's so funny, really. If you haven't watched, please give it a watch. It's on Amazon Prime. So we're gonna do that first before we do the barbecue later. But yeah, give it a watch if you haven't already. This is our little cat, Maya. Maya. Mooch mooch. Ow. No, doesn't want to cuddle.
Was ready to be filled again.
Today's the day when I create a channel, let's call it the sewers, between the stream.
Here we go. Okay, the moment of truth.
brilliant. Literally in the last second my phone storage was full and I had to get off the videos from beforehand that I filmed. Anyway, I just came out into the garden and the only thing I wanted to say is a goodbye. Thank you for watching my vlog. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next week, hopefully on Wednesday, with the France vlog. I'm not 100% sure if I manage Wednesday. I'll try, but we only come back like Monday night, so I'm not sure if I get everything edited and done in time, but it's definitely gonna be up next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Also, I should probably not walk outside in the grass with my white socks.